Yeah, that certainly helps. Yeah, we have had, challenges is probably the right word with depth there. Certainly didn't help us having Mills nicked up. I said last week I knew we were young after him. So we tried to fast track the rest of those guys, get them ready. I think they've done a good job considering, but experience helps, and their familiarity with the offense helps when you're trying to make adjustments and call things. And I'm really pleased with the talent we have in that room. We just got to keep bringing them along.
And do you think Diedrich, is he in the mix to potentially be back this weekend?
Yeah, we got our fingers crossed.
Joe Nugent, WWT.
Hey, Scott. On Monday, you talked about the study where the offense scored on more than 90% of the drives where there wasn't a mistake. Did you share that recently with the team?
Yeah, we talk about those things in-house all the time. We can't beat ourselves. We're playing too good a team this weekend. We play too good a teams week in and week out. It's hard to sustain drives when you make mistakes, and there's been too many snaps, too many negative plays. So we're talking about those things in-house all the time. The guys know the importance of it. We got to get buttoned up a little more so we can be more consistent.
Brian Christopherson.
Hey, Scott, I know you've said you feel as good about wide receiver as since you've been here. Could you just expound a little bit on what you've seen through the course of these last couple months from those guys that give you the confidence that's trekking the right way?
We got a few guys that have been here a while that really know what they're doing. Cade Warner probably being the leader of those, and we trust him to run everything that we got. Levi Falks come in and done a good job. Wyatt Lever is learning as a walk-on from O'Neill, Nebraska. I really like how he's progressed. I think when I was referring to that, the talent in that room has really gotten better. A lot of it's young, and like I've said several times, Xavier wasn't around all summer. We were hoping for really good things with Omar, and he hasn't been healthy. Will Nixon came in. He's a really talented kid. He got hurt in the offseason. Malante Brown has a ton of talent. I don't want to leave anybody out, but and Chris Hickman's doing good things. We have a lot of guys that I feel like can do things and have the talent to do what we ask them to do on the football field. Some of them we just need a little more time with them so that they're more consistent.
Are those true freshmen really good about, taking in the lessons and having the patience and all that stuff as they go through this?
Yeah, our coach has been working hard with them. They spend extra time with them, spend extra time on the field, extra time with signals. Those guys want to get better, and it's good to see. Oliver Martin's another one. He didn't take a ton of reps until we found out he was eligible, but he was learning the entire time, and it's just a lot of new players. But I'm impressed with the talent we have at that position every day.
Sam McEwen.
Hey, Scott, how do you feel like your team responded this week after a rivalry game? I'm sure there's motivational issues week to week, but you said that you felt really good about this team being hungry, and I'm curious as to just how they did this week and how they're doing now moving into December and still playing regular season games.
Really well. The guys are, they didn't take it very well Saturday, and I hope that put a chip on their shoulder a little bit. They know they got another big challenge this week. Going on the road to a good team, but their approach to everything they did this week was exactly what I'd want it to be.
Do you think, you guys have been at this a long time now, 8 months, when you think about bringing guys back from COVID and all that, how have you sort of managed, inevitably there's going to be low moments for a coach, for a player, how do you kind of power through those things? Like, what do you kind of rely on when you just have to maybe take 10, 15 minutes and get away from the grind of the testing and the preparing and the uncertainty?
Yeah, it has been. It's been such a crazy year in a lot of ways. Again, I don't want anybody to feel sorry for anybody that's coaching and playing football because there's other bigger problems out there, and those are certainly more important than our issues. But the guy's been at it a long time. Be honest, I think if you took a poll of a lot of people, it's getting close to Christmas. Guys are used to being done. I don't get that sense on our team. Our guys want to play more games, and they're excited to do that. But, this late in the year, it's just unusual. So, we don't have them up here all day, Sam. They get away some. I don't think they can do all the normal things they do when they get away. That's kind of been the big issue with a lot of this is you can't go to a movie, you can't go hang out with friends, you can't go to parties. So it's been a long year for some of these kids on top of the coaches, and that's just what everybody's been having to deal with this year.
Thank you.
Two more for Coach. Kevin Suits.
Hey, Scott, you've coached against Bob Diaco before, and you're aware of his history at Nebraska. Just curious how you would describe your relationship with him, if there is one. And then from a football standpoint, what's the common thread in what he tries to do defensively, no matter where he's been?
I have mutual respect, I think, is probably the right word to talk about with what he does. He's an established defensive coach. He's had good success. I think he's a good coach. We coached against each other once when he was head coach at UConn. It was a good game. It was a tough game. I think they're sound. Typically don't give up a lot of big plays, make it hard on you to run it. He knows what he's doing.
Finish up back to Parker Gabriel.
Scott, I know you're focused on getting ready for a game, but there's been a lot of rumblings about moving pieces, whether it's next week or December 19th in the Big Ten. Have you or has the school heard anything from the Big Ten about either that December 19th weekend and how that's going to work, or anything about sort of the schedule over the next couple of weeks?
I know the ADs are talking about it. I think all the coaches kind of have their head down and are working. We just feel lucky and grateful that we're getting to play. And we're going to play any chance we get a chance to play, and hope we get some more. But safety's got to come first, and I know there's a lot of games being canceled. It seems like more and more every week. So we'll see how this whole thing plays out. But we're just grateful that we got the opportunity to play some games.